right, folks. Hello, everybody. This is Tuesday, May 4th, Graphic Design One. And we have been looking at Project 5 magazine layouts. And I've just gone through a number of instances on this project here. And I'm explaining how I'm grading a little differently on this project and the next one than I have done in the past. I'm going to grade this on a curve. So Devin here has 11 instances that could be improved. But right now, I'm not sure if that's a good grade or a bad grade because I have to compare it to others that will be submitted, and I'll go over. And actually, I'm going to do this, get somebody else, and we'll see how Devin does with 11 errors. Of course, Devin, you can fix this and get a better grade, right?
Yes.
And you have until the end of the semester, but I have to give a grade right now because I know some people, because of the situation we are in, are not keeping up. But I have said from the beginning that if you want to catch up and get a better grade, you can resubmit, and I'll up until the last day of class. And so I think we're done with this, Devin.
Yeah.
I've covered everything as I can think of, and other than that, and I'll say this is, I'm going to put this date on it, and I will, 5.4, I will send this to you if I remember. I know how to do this. I know how I will remember because I've got a grade sheet, and I'll put it on the grade sheet. Give me a second. I make myself a note so I'll remember. All right, so next, Devin, you got any questions? Are you all right?
No questions about this. I have questions about other ones.
So I'm going to open this up. Makina, I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to go in. Maybe I should, before I do that, I shouldn't do it on Makina's work. I'm going to go to my demonstration. I'm looking for what I did for the demonstration of this. Test 5. So here is the Word document. I'm going to open that up. And while that's going on, I'll open this up. Here's a Word document. So there's a Word document, and there's a footnote right there. It's in the proper place. Here is italicized documenta, and then there is italicized school for visitors, and italicized when attitude becomes form. All those go away, and I'm going to show you why. I'm just going to explain this again. Here's just my sample artboards. Well, my application frame is too big for this window, so I got to go with this other screen, make it down, take it down, so I can go and navigate. So I'm going to just put this on another layer. So I'm going to go in here and make a text box. Oh, do I do this again? Make a text box. In File, Place, and I've got to go find it again. Introduction, and not all of that stylization that I want to take out of there, because there's things like line breaks. There could be indentations for paragraphs. I want to go options, show import options, place, and remove text formatting. That gets rid of the italics, so I got to go replace it. But also gets rid of a whole bunch of other stuff that I could not. I'd have a very hard time, or it would be impossible to get rid of within Illustrator InDesign. And I go okay, and okay, we don't care about that font. So, this by default font is in my way, so I'm going to go put in another text box. And there it is. So then I want to go here and pick that up and make another text box for the remainder of the text. And now this is linked. Now, if I was, and I would be, I know I've done this, but I'm just doing it again. And I'd take that out because I want to stylize that differently and put that in there. And then I want to do, we want to make sure, Devin, this is one thing I forgot to check, is to make sure your lines align. Like that happens to align. I didn't check that on here, so please check it. That's not good there. You've got to align, unless you're doing something really highly stylized. If you're doing 2 columns, then there'd be a line. And here is, I'm taking off the, and I don't know why, I'm just noticing this, the notion of judgment. See, I printed this out. For some reason, that came in as an italic and it's not supposed to be. So it's my job as a designer to take that off. And I want to do a initial cap is, I'm going to do an initial 2-letter cap because an I is kind of a strange, it's too small. So in Illustrator, you got to make your own box. Well, it didn't copy. I got to get rid of this. I think one could get rid of that Lauren Ibsen in preferences. So here I'm going to stylize this to be another font just because I choose to. And there's all kinds of different ways to do this. And this font here, I'll stylize to be something other than a generic New Times Roman. I'll make it something else. But Baskerville Old Face, that's that is interesting. And I want to make this 10. It's my responsibility to, as a designer, to choose the point size and choose the leading. This parenthesis here means that I haven't chosen a leading. I'm going to choose 14, and I'm going to take this down to as low as 8. And that is a small font, but this changed back to 9.6. I want it to be wide because this really makes it easy to look at. Now I'm going to take this and make this an initial cap by coming in here and putting a text wrap on it. In attempting type object text wrap make. Okay, and then I can make this. That's just a little initial cap, but I can make this larger and be more effective. 18 point, let's say. Let's see what that looks like. Oops. Oh, it's got to be bigger now. No, point size. 36 point. In. Okay, so that's working. Now this object text wrap options, I can take this and make it less. So oops. Well, I was trying to get this that according to go on a other line there. Now that works. Oh, and I want to take the hyphenations off. So I'm going to go over here to paragraph, window, type, paragraph, take the hyphenations off. Now, of course, I could go and make this initial cap with a colored underneath it, if I so choose. Object, transform, arrange, send it back there. Now that is an example of initial cap. It could be one word, could be two. If I've stylized where this is like one font and that's another. All right, so that's an initial cap, but that isn't the only solution here. I could go command click allows me to click through items. I could go and in attempting, I could make this, of course, in attempting, I can make this an initial line that would designate the give emphasis to the introduction. The whole idea is to give emphasis to the introduction. 9, this was 8. Oops. So, and maybe I make that bold. There's no bold in this. So maybe I make it a different font. I always go to my go-to fonts, which is Myriad. And for me, Garamond. I can't find Myriad. Artworks and contemporary. It'd be nice if artwork moved up a line. And then see, all this stuff takes time. What was this font? Baskerville Old Face. But it's fun. It's all about details, finessing. And if you find it, so that works as well. Or you could take let's take this whole thing, and I'm gonna take it out of there. And let's say another introduction would be to use, put it in its own and an introduction like this. I can make it Baskerville. Semi-bold. 12 point. 18. And there it is. Now it is introducing the story with kind of a drop quote. And it's hanging. That's kind of nice idea. So, Devin, those are some ideas of how to start a story. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So that's how, now what else did you have? You had another question besides the drop cap.
Yeah, I just was wondering if you could send an updated like list of our grades, because since it's not in Blackboard, I'm having a hard time keeping track of what I have credit for and what I don't.
I have done that a number of times, but I'm happy to do that.
And yeah, I'm still confused about why I'm not getting credit for some of my grades, for some of my projects, because I've met with you a bunch of times for them. And at the end of our meetings, you said it was fine. So then I would submit it, but I still don't have credit for it.
I'm looking at your grades right now. Do you want me to tell you what you're missing?
Yes, please.
Letter drawing tutorial.
Yes, that's in the box, and I've also emailed it to you way back when.
Okay, well, since we're here, let's go and look at it. I mean, I make mistakes as well. So, oh, I should just look at your folder, because that's where it should, that tells me that you have put it in the box. And I wasn't asking for the tutorials to be put in the box anyway. I was just asking them to be sent to me. So here is everything that I have received. And I'm going up here.
Up a little bit, it says font at the end.
Yeah, well, that's not the letter drawing tutorial.
Well, what's the letter drawing
Well,
tutorial?
let's
Only
look
made
at
your own
it.
font?
Let's see what this is. This is, oops, what happened to it? This is the beginning of a font. And I sent you back a reply on that. And that hasn't been finished. I could grade this if you want.
I should have it more. Hold on, let me go check my folder.
Well, if it's your folder, it's got to be in my folder for it to be give credit for. So if you've done it, do it or send it to me. But it isn't here. And this here is not completed unless you want me to give you a grade on that start. Or do you want to finish this? That should end up looking like.
I emailed you the final product here. I'm going to redo it right now. Save you want it as a PDF for the email?
The project should be emailed to me as a PDF, and it should look like this. This is the last page of your syllabus.
Yes, I am looking at that right now. I'm going to re-email it to you.
You're talking about the typography design project. Is that what you're sending me?
What we're looking at right now, the letter drawing?
Yes. You're going to send that to me?
Yes, I'm going to send it to you.
Great. I'll get it. I'll look at it. I'll give you a grade. And that's all you're missing. The magazine spread we just went over. I've noted
I have credit for my type techniques.
Type techniques you got credit for.
Okay. Well, I just sent you again the final version of the letter drawing.
All right, great. That will be the letter drawing tutorial is you're missing that. And I'll show you what it is.
Is that not the letter drawing tutorial, what we were just looking at?
The typography design is project 3A. The letter drawing tutorial is this. I had it there in a second, and now letter drawing tutorial. It looks like this. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I didn't realize we were supposed to send you that too.
Yes, you're supposed to. This is a tutorial so that you can learn how to do the pen tool, so that you can draw your letters. That comes, that other project 3A comes after this. That was the intention. But you haven't sent me that. You got to.
I have that too. I just didn't realize you wanted that as well. So I'll send that
it's on the grade sheet. I'll wait to send you the grade sheet until I get your email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Now we were oh. Anybody else have any other questions right now before I go to McKenna? Nobody. All right, here's McKenna's. Oh. I don't know. Can you read that, Makina? Can you read this?
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe making those a little bit lighter so it's easier to read.
Yes. Let me see. I'm going to. I'm going to make notes. I'm essentially what I'm doing right here is grading in front of everybody. You want to do a text introduction.
Sure.
I'm saying doing that because I just demonstrated lots of different ways to start off a story. I'm gonna give you another one, another way to start off a story.
Okay.
How about that?
That's cool.
To start off a story. I mean, that's very interesting because this, this as if it's going in here. So, and then you could actually go in here and indent that.
Mm.
Oh, I take all this stuff and pull it out of there so you can do something different with it.
Okay.
See, now I'm taking all your fun away. Oh, you like that?
I do like that.
I'm aligning that with this, and it aligns with this. Does that mean command click? This comes over a little bit. I could. Oh, then this, if you're gonna make this right now you don't have to make this lighter background.
Right.
Rethought that with this, and then I could come in here and take that and oh, why isn't that turning white? Oh. I'm having a issue. Need help here. Oh, why isn't this turning white? Text tool. Why isn't it turning white? Anybody tell me why that's not turning white? Wow. Now that turned white. What, you know why it's not turning white?
No, I don't.
Tree, what a strange font. Um, all right, well, it's something to do with that font. It's very strange. But I was just going, that could be, see, this is a different font and it works like it's supposed to work. Um, that's an idea too, as well. I don't know why that font didn't turn white. Contemporary introduction, art and aesthetic judgment. Contemporary. What was that supposed to say?
I think the art and aesthetic judgment comes after contemporary.
Oh, thank you. I forgot. See, you know, that's not unusual for when you're a designer. You get more interested in the form than the content, and which is part of what I'm trying to get across to everybody. So you get all of a sudden, what was that content again? Because you're looking at the form very closely, which is to say, you always the designer always needs an editor to make sure that they are looking at the same thing. Anyway, there's some ideas for them. I don't know what should I do about this. Should I save this, or just you can look at the?
You can save it if you want, yeah.
Do I send it back to you?
I think if you save it, I'll be able to access it since I just uploaded the Adobe PDF.
I'm working off of your submitted Illustrator file.
Yeah.
I'll just save it back to the folder. That it ought to go to something like that.
Okay.
And I've messed up your lovely footnote.
It's okay. I can fix that.
Okay. But I like that. Well, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what happened to that one there. And this one there.
I'll fix them.
Oh, did you intentionally make them lower?
Yeah. But I can do the higher one if you want.
Well, that's actually a stylistic decision.
Okay.
This should be, it looks like it's like, why is it so wide? It looks like it should be a little thinner, that gutter.
Okay.
And here you got that's bad.
Yeah, I had that fixed. I think maybe it just got a little warped, but it wasn't
well,
like
what happened, I pulled all this out of the
Yeah.
box, and that's what happened. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I go back to the instructions here and I say, this is the new instructions for the next project. Use 3 primitives, circle, square, and triangle. use 3 colors, black and white. Viewer sees the graphics first. So the idea here is that you are following some guidelines. So I'm going to go back here to everybody. I'm going to say the viewer sees the graphics first, and the headline second, and the legible text third. You got to use circle, square, and triangle. Square, I guess that's a square.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm checking you on this stuff. 3 colors. Well, you didn't. You used one color in different tints. And
I have a question. What should be the size of the page for the document?
11 by 16 according to the syllabus. The composition should be dynamic. Employ scale chains, be asymmetrical. Demonstrate text wrap. Linked text boxes. Link text boxes. Wait a minute. Clipping path or compound path. Use of negative space. So I'm going to look for this. So, Makina, you're not using negative space here.
Okay.
Right? It's dead center. So that's an issue. So this is, if I was to kind of give you a grade on this, I'm not, but I would say there's about, you know, so I see about like 4 things wrong.
Okay.
5 errors. This is just to demonstrate the way I'm thinking about the grading. So now we know that Devin with 11 is behind you with only 5. So you're getting a better grade. I'm only saying this just so everybody knows how I'm thinking about grading these. And I would suggest this, if you're going to get some negative space in there, that you are, you take that font. That font is 16.9. That's really large. Anything over 12 is a headline font.
Yeah.
So it should be, and I gave that instructions out somewhere between 8 and 12.
Perfect.
I wrote that somewhere. If you give it to you. It's not in this, but I do remember writing that. So that font is too big.
Okay.
And you got a negative space. Dynamic, it says over here, I'm looking at the syllabus. It says demonstrate text wrap, and no text wrap.
I have it wrapped around the circle.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Dynamic composition. Okay. Do you have any other questions on this?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm just going to save this.
Okay, perfect.
And today. So there it is.
Perfect.
Makina,
Thank you.
can you access this folder?
Yeah, I should be able.
Yeah, okay. So, and so we'll go to Ryan. Are you here, Ryan?
Yeah,
You ready?
Professor, I'm having a trouble with saving my project as a PDF. Would I be able to share the screen and show you my issue?
Yeah, sure.
It says I can't share right now, but
I'm working on it.
okay.
Now you're ready.
All right. So can you see my letter drawing tutorial here?
Yeah.
So my problem is I'm trying to save as a PDF. So I already have it saved as a PDF. I'll save a new version. But then when I go and open the PDF, nothing is there. It's just a blank.
Okay, the reason is because you did a letter drawing tutorial on the wrong layer, because that layer is a template layer and it's blank. So just take that take all of that and move it up.
How do I do that?
Just grab it and now
Mhm.
take the red square on the layers palette. No, not that way. Leave it there. Just go to move that red square up a layer. The red square, move that up a layer. Now you did it.
Okay, and then now I
Demonstrate
can.
to everybody how to use your layers. What you have done is you've actually taken the template that I had on template layer and moved that up to the top as well, but it'll work. Did it work?
Okay. Yep, it worked. Thank
All
you,
right.
Professor.
Saying that to me and you get credit.
All right, thank you.
That's simple. So I get the screen back. All right, where were we? Ryan, how you doing?
good.
Okay, so this is art. Do you have anything to say about this as I'm looking at it?
No, not really. You said it was good last time, but I just added the compound path for the circle and the square at the bottom.
Right. Well, that makes it visually more interesting. This is awkward here. That's awkward.
Should it come down a little bit?
Or this should go up. You see
Oh,
the
yeah.
difference?
Yeah.
Negative space, dynamic. Text, shapes. I'm going to take this and bring it down. Oh, now I want to take the text wrap off. Release. Object, arrange, send it back. I don't know. I'm just having all the fun here, and I should be writing all of this as instead of doing what I'm doing. Now this has to be, and I didn't check, McKinney, I didn't check to see if this if your lines were even. These are just by chance. You like what's going on here, Ryan?
Yeah, I guess it just seems like there's a lot of space to the right.
It's supposed to be asymmetrical with demonstrating negative space.
Okay.
That's like your guidelines. And any kind of design project you'll have a program you have to adhere to.
But now there's no text wrap.
Now there's no text wrap. Oh, got to do text wrap. This is text wrap right here. Maybe that text wrap object. I'm doing this. I'm getting, and I'm in a quandary here because I'm doing all this adjusting, and I'm stealing your fun. That text wrap is better, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And this here is very awkward. So that has to change. So I'm going to take the text wrap and release it, and object arrange, send it back, and that works better. So dynamic, what if I was to do that and make it more dynamic if I turned it? Like they're kind of jumbled up. That's interesting. Do you like that, Brian?
Yeah.
Now here's there's all the negative space, and in fact, what happened to Maria? Byline. I forgot. Type, change case, uppercase, Myriad Pro, bold, semi-bold. You didn't give a byline. You know what by whom? Maria. What is her name?
Oh.
Well, that's her name. Pretend. But I found a place for it. It's down here. And here you want to have more dynamic. Let's make this the same as in. What is this? Oh, mirrored here we are. Semi-bold. So we got some bold things going on here. More contrast, more dynamic. Semi-bold, or even should it be bold? You like that, Ryan?
Yeah.
So this is that you got holes here, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to fix that with right here. Wait a minute. Oh no, I gotta. This is kerning. This is tracking. I was doing the wrong one. And your justify, so that the hyphenations are okay. See how that worked better
Yeah.
than that? Ryan, say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I gotta go and check your footnotes and your italics. There, you missed a footnote there.
Oh.
When attitude becomes form. Find font. Find and replace. This is a good way to find stuff. When find. Find next. When attitude becomes form. So anyway, that's just demonstrating find and replace to find something. If you want to do the same thing with fonts, find font, and you can find the font that you need. So there's when attitude becomes form. This is option to get my grabber hand. So you got the italics there, and but you missed a footnote here. And this is, you missed an italic here. Are you with me, Ryan?
Yeah.
And you could fix that too.
Where was the last italics I missed?
Well, you got to go and look at the this is italic, documented for 1968.
Okay.
Not 1968, but that. But you
Okay.
got to look at, you got to print that out so you can look at it. I went and because I'm gonna look at everybody's. I highlighted it. Oh, it's over here. I highlighted it so I could see quickly where these things are. So you got the footnote here. I didn't. So this is this. Do you like what you got? What we got here now?
Yeah. For the blue triangle, how did you get that behind the second box of text? Because I keep clicking send to back, but it's not.
Well, it's in the back of the layer that you're on, but it's the other layer is on top of the layer that you're on. If you understand.
Oh, okay.
Here I can go pull my command key down and go click. There I can access it, and you can see here in the this layer is below the text layer, and I think I physically brought it down below it, so it wasn't on the same layer.
Okay.
I like to use my layers and isolate the different items on different layers so I know where they're at. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can't do that because for different reasons, like text wrap, you got to have this on the text layer to get that text wrap. But I think this is looking better, and I think that you said you agreed with me. But I didn't keep track, but you're somewhere in between 5 and 11 on, you know what I'm saying?
5 and 11. What do you mean 5 and 11?
5 and 11 improvements. McKenna had 5, Devin had 11, and you are somewhere in between that. I didn't keep track. I'm just trying to give everybody an idea that right now McKenna is getting the top grade, and you're more in the middle, and Devin's getting the lower grade. But that's may not be how it all works out. But I'm just giving you an idea how this. I'm going to set everything on a curve, but I got to have enough to correct. And there's no grades coming from this. What we're talking about. I'm just giving you an idea. When I get some replies on this, corrections on what we're going over, then I'm going to do the grades. What should I do with this, Ryan?
You can get rid of it. I've basically been doing it with you on my own.
Okay, great.
But okay, so I did. Okay, I think I just have to add. Wait, did you bold the title?
I did. I'm looking at, and the reason because I'm looking at purely formally bold, and I made this byline bold and big because of all the space, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, that should be bold too as well. And there's a gutter problem right here. I think that I did that, but that gutter should be correct.
Professor Hall, sorry for interrupting you. I have an appointment to get my vaccine today, and it's at 12:15. So I'm gonna have to leave a little early today.
Yay! Get your vaccine.
I'll email you and I'll speak with you maybe tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay, one thing I wanted to tell you, Alejandro.
Yes, tell me.
You went ahead of us and started to work on or finish, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Oh, all right, but I want that you're working off the original instructions. You don't have to bother about what my revised.
Oh, what you changed?
I changed it, but for everybody else, not for you, because you started yours before I changed it.
All right, so I don't have to work on whatever you changed.
You work on those original guidelines that you have been working towards. You don't have to consider what I proposed today. You got it in your, email. Okay, I just wanted to say that. So,
okay, Professor.
So you wouldn't get confused.
Okay, Professor, sounds good.
Okay, good.
I'll email you today, okay?
All right.
All right, have a good one.
Okay, so Ryan, are we done?
Yeah. Do I just email it to you or should I just re-upload it?
Do it same way that you did it. You give me a PDF and upload it, and then I'm gonna go and take it down to go to the box, but you gotta let me know when you're ready.
Okay, wait, so I send you a PDF and upload it?
You've been doing it the same procedure as you've done all semester. You send me a PDF or a screenshot, I don't care, telling me I have uploaded this project on the box. I'm gonna go to the box and correct it.
Okay.
And I'll send you a grade sheet like I have done recently. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, moving on. To Grace. All right. Here we are. Grace. Hi.
Hi.
You got something to say here?
Yeah, I forgot to do the text wrap, so I know I have to do that.
Okay, text wrap.
And then I got confused with the instructions because one place it said to use 3 colors and then further down it said to use only 1. So I can change and have 3 colors too.
Okay, well, that's my confusion. It says here, use 3 colors plus black and white.
But then under the goals, when it said goals, it was like use 1 color, black and white, and then it could be tints.
I must have, I guess I changed that because mine right now doesn't say that. So what do you think I ought to do, Grace? Not use 3 colors? Use 1 color?
I can change it to 3 colors because I had that originally, but then I didn't know if I should change it.
Well, I was just trying to give everybody an idea to experiment with some color. What is this? 1. That you can't edit this. Isn't that something? When you do this, if you turn it into a shape, you can't edit it.
If you double click it, you're able to change the text.
I double clicked on it. When you double click, you get into this everybody, you get into this sub module, which is just what you click on. Oh, very strange. See, I have not experimented with this, as you remember. We just explored it ourselves or together. And it is a new experience. Boy, you have to get into this weird little box, but there's a color that could be interesting. I think, do you like that?
Yeah.
3 colors. Should I try that on this one?
Sure.
How do I do this? I click on this and I double click on it. And then funny thing is, it shows up here. It's like a magic. Highlight that, and I choose another color. And I got to get out of this module. I got to click up there again. So that's interesting. You like that?
Yeah.
Get out of here. I was looking at this, and to me, there you got a widow going on here, or not a widow, a footnote you missed. And I'm just looking for, I can't find it, so I'm gonna go over here, object, edit, find, when, find, find next. All right, so you're missing some italics. That should be italic.
Okay.
School, find, that should be italic, and documenta, italic. So check that out. And oh, I was thinking about this. Is that this that space is really tight to this straight line, and if there was more space here, I'm trying to figure out how you did this. If there's more space to this box, oh, these are like cut out.
Yeah, I use the Pathfinder tool.
Oh. That works better. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see that.
Well, you have to finesse that, because that's much better than that. Your eye gets tight in here. I mean, it's all right there. See, I just messed up your composition. And those are all locked together. Uh-oh. You see where I'm trying to go with this? I'm trying to open
Yeah, I'll be able to edit it.
Okay. Okay, and then you got to get a text wrap running in here somehow, right?
Yeah.
Where's that going to go, that text wrap? It'd be interesting if that came out, the text wrapped around this.
I could do it in the middle column because that's a little smaller where the triangle goes in.
That this comes out.
Yeah.
It's going to work better if it comes in from the left side instead of the right side, whatever the text wrap is, because of this drag. When you come in from the left side, it's going to be harder to read. But so you might have to redo this composition. But I like the idea that this is
Or I could have like the header, I could have it go down into the text and have that wrap around like the Y and her last name.
oh, here?
Yeah, like I could edit that so it goes in.
That'd be interesting. I'm gonna see what happens here if I put a text wrap on this, and the text is on here, so I gotta move this up. I think. Grab it, move it up. That's what happens. That's not so bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. But that's a problem. So
I could like change the direction of the triangle so it starts at the very top.
yeah, so then it would go like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that works. I anticipated it wouldn't work, but that works.
Yeah, so I'll change it to that.
And this is the start of a paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the paragraph break, but you have a widow here. So we can make that work by highlighting a bunch of lines and going over here and tracking it out. Tracking it out. It's got to be, there's got to be 2 lines. So everybody watch for your widows. So now that works. So I tracked it out, and I just demonstrated how to solve a widow issue. And here we have that's an issue right there. But this is kind of interesting because this could be, I'm going to move this down. That could be the how to open up the story with a drop cap type variation. This goes back to light. Avenir, one of my favorite fonts. Do you like that?
Yeah.
It hangs. So see what it's doing is it's telling you where the story starts and giving you an introduction. So I'm kind of looking for that to everybody, so you just don't start a story with no emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's an issue here. It's got to be figured out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
And so that's looking pretty good. I wonder if I'm just playing around now. That was great. It's below everything. Very strange. These that's above it. What is this? What is this? Is it a tint? Oh, yeah, it's a tint. That's why this is all, I'm seeing pink through it. I was looking at this thinking, would it be interesting if there was no white at all in there? Oh, but I said you have to have white.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not working so well because everything's a tint. So we'll get rid of that. But just an idea, it didn't work. But that it doesn't, the type doesn't have to be black necessarily. everybody, there's a blue type. I want to make it darker. Blue type, that's not a bad idea. Versus a black type. So you don't have to have it. Black is just one way to handle type. Grace,
Yeah.
is this all right?
Yeah, I'll make the edits right now.
Okay. Do you want me to save this or can I not?
You don't have to. I'll remember what I have to do.
All right. Well, it's on the tape. I got all this is on the tape. Okay, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yay. Who's next? Joe, are you there?
Hello. I already have a pretty good idea of what I need to change just because of your other comments.
Well, tell me.
Well, I totally just did not understand the footnotes thing, and so as you can see, you see what I did. So I need to fix that.
Yeah, okay. Just to make sure that we're on the same page here. I don't understand what you did, but you didn't follow this text.
Yes, I understand that now. I need to just look at the Word doc again and just restructure it.
Yeah, you got to just upload it and you can't change the content of the text. You got to go with what's there.
Yeah, I just messed up. So
Okay.
I just need to fix it.
So that measure, the line length is too long. Way too long. The reason is that your eye, when you're reading, your eye will go along here like that, and then it start to get tight, and you jump on a line, and then you get really confused, and you didn't realize your eye jumped a line.
Okay.
And if you wanted to make that, I would pull this out of that text box so I could edit this separately from this because it's so completely different. But this is a solution to start your story, right? I demonstrated a little earlier on.
Just because.
Okay, that hyphenation, that should not be hyphenated.
Okay.
That should go like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'll just make 2 columns instead.
Well, do 2 columns, but I want to demonstrate how if you want to make something that long read, you'd have to go, and it's not the same font size. What size is 12? All right, so I'm going to highlight this and make it readable. And it's by space. It's by negative space. So this is 12, and I don't know why that doesn't stick on 12. Should be 12 there. It's because it's picking up this up here, I imagine, and the 28. And that's another reason, a good example why you want to pull that out and put it in its own text box. But I'm going to go and take this, and I'm going to open up the leading. And you'd want to have that like 18. I'm going to take it more so you can see it. 12 over 18, and even more. Now you're able to read this text, and it's because of the negative space. So I have been emphasizing negative space because negative space is just as important as the positive space in every instance. So that text is readable, more readable now. But to make it actually, if you can do, the rule of thumb is if you count 60 characters, you can't make the text any longer, the line any longer than 60 characters. But this should also be to be actually readable less than 60 characters. I would have to make that like 14 or something. But that's too big for, that's at the limit of the size of body text. So I'm gonna take this down to 9, 9 over 21. How elegant is that? And then pull this in, and I'm going to take this out. Oops. And ten over 18. Oops, you want to do that. Layers, oh boy, you need layers. You got all the stuff on one layer, makes it really hard to work. I recommend you put your art on one layer and your text on another layer when you can. So it's much easier to work. There is your intro. I locked that. Intro. Lock this so I can move this in an attempt to validate temporary. This can come out and this should be okay. We're pretending that's the first line of the document. This, Joe, is fabulous. This handling of this headline, I think, is very inventive. Contemporary, except for you're missing a colon here. You got to go look at.
Workable because it's one. I made it one. I merged it, so it's not workable. I just would have to go back.
Okay. Anyway, you got to have a colon here because you got to follow the text. And this here, introduction, contemporary art. This is all merged.
Yeah, I just merged all of that. Yeah.
Okay, so I can't change it, but I think that audit would read better if it was over here, because your eye would bring this together more. And I don't know that I would make this italic because it's really part of this headline. I can see where you could say, oh, I'm just going to make it smaller, but you're setting it apart as if it's not a part of this headline by doing the stylization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So,
I know. I was treating it as like a subtitle.
well, it's not. It's part of right here. It's one line. You can break that line up, but it's got to read like it's together because that's what the editor said, intended. So you can design it, but you can't change the content, and that's changing. I think that's changing the content. Is that all right?
Yep.
Joel?
It makes sense.
And this is now really a afterthought, and she doesn't have to be an afterthought. In fact, that oops. Oh, that's her last name. That's got to be a cat. You could do this. You could stylize it like that if you like. That is okay. I would think to do that, and maybe just for contrast, and make it bolder, semi-bold. And you want that to be italic? That's a little bit obvious decision. You want your decisions as a designer to be not be greater than the content it's trying to. But that's nice. It's trying to express. So I'm not sure why that's italic. There should be some kind of reason for it to be italic.
So Professor, should I make 2 columns just in order to fit all of the text?
Um,
If you want that negative space.
well, I wanted to see, according to instructions, linked text boxes are columns and linked text. So right now, this could link to this. That'd be linked. So I'm looking for that demonstration of that skill set, that you know how to link text boxes or columns, because this is a page layout project, and that's very important to do. So, but see, I'm sitting here trying to remember how to make 2 columns out of this. See, I don't use Illustrator for this. I use InDesign, so I have to think about it. Illustrator is used mostly for logos, designing maps, things like that. Object transform. I showed you how to make columns, Joe. Do you remember? Because I can't remember right now.
No, I don't remember.
All right. This makes the type a, well, we know what that does. All right, so I gotta figure this out. See, there's 2 columns. I did this. Um, Grace, remember how to do this? Offset path, shape.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I'm just trying to remember how to make columns. You remember how to do it?
I think it was in the character.
Oh, I can't believe it, because I demonstrated it and then I forgot how to do it.
Oh, it's under area type.
Type under type
Like
area?
area type in the
Right there. Oh,
yeah.
thank you. See, I forgot. Columns. 2 columns. 3 columns. I forgot how to do that. So everybody know how to do that? Type, area, type, options. 2 columns. Like that. All right. Then if I go like this and copy that and come over here and find that and paste it, that's 2 columns. And if I go and say hold my command key down, click on the red box, and try that again. Click on the red box. There's my text box, and I can come out here and I can link that. So the idea is to demonstrate that you know how to do these two things. This is a syllabus. This is InDesign. Show text threads. There's the text threads in the syllabus. So this is a reason why I really want to do this, is that I've got my text going over here, and then I pulled a text box over here, and it doesn't go from here to here, and I know that, obviously. So this, whatever that is not linked, and whatever this is, I can put in the right spot. And there is a reason why you need to know how to do this. And this is like important for anything that you do for print. You can't do it correctly if you don't know what I'm trying to get across here. But you'll probably, when you get into graphic design 2, you're going to be using them InDesign. But these principles are the same. And the reason I didn't try to introduce you in InDesign, because it's a entirely different interface. So I wanted to introduce page layout design using what we had learned, which is usually used for things like typography design, or maps, or logo design, or illustrations. Does anybody have any questions on this? What we're doing? Are we all right? Joe, you there?
Yes.
Are we done with this?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yes?
Yes.
Do you want me to do anything with this?
No, it's okay.
I'd have to make 2 columns, I'd have to go type, area type options. Oh, I can do it. I don't have to take the text out, 2 columns. Okay, there's 2 columns. Yeah, do 2 columns, that looks better. That's better, looks better.
Leave some space to the right.
Or should I negative space, negative space. We want a dynamic composition. That's what I've changed your composition to do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so here I'm going to move this up. That's interesting, maybe.
I know I really didn't want to add a triangle, but I kind of forced it in.
Well, you try to find a use for it. So I can't grab it now. It's a locator. I'm locating Marina. Look at that. Using that triangle to you know what I'm saying? For a reason. That's what it's always great to have some kind of sentence, something that's more than just an aesthetic choice. It's a reason. So if I wanted to be more literal, I could go like that. And I want to be more dynamic. Maybe I take this all the way out. Let the space be there. More dynamic. Like negative space. Maybe she goes right there. Well, I can't move that over. Anyway, she's too close to the edge. So there, I just made it more dynamic.
Yeah, I like that.
Huh?
I like that.
Just got rid of that and use that space. That space, I didn't have that. This is all filled up. That's empty. That makes it even more dynamic, right?
Yep.
Where space helps the composition. So we're done with this?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm like where you're going with this. This is great. Good job. So I won't save this.
Yeah.
Is that all right? I'm waiting for a reply, Joe.
Yeah, you don't have to save it.
Okay, good. All right. So where are we? We did everybody that handed it in. Does anybody out there have a magazine spread you want to go over? Nick, Renata, Rochelle, are you there? Do you have a magazine spread? Not ready?
I have it for next week. I watched everybody's like critique, so now I have a better understanding.
Okay, Nick, say something.
We can go over mine. It's just not in this specific folder. I can move it real quick if you want me to.
This is the folder it should be in, so do so, please. I'll go over it. I think it helps. What we're doing helps. Not only it helps.
I
Get
did
better grip on
email it to you as well.
Do what?
I did email it to you as well.
All right, but we'll go over it, and then you'll redo it, and I'll wait till I get these revisions before I give any grades out. But it's due today. Is it due today? Yeah, it's due today. So get it in, everybody, before next week. Before, let's see, if I get it by Friday, then I can turn the grades around, and you'll have it by next Monday. And then we'll look. We only have 2 classes left. And by the way, well, I'll wait till next Monday. I'll introduce the last class next 5/11. So Nick, are you ready?
Yeah, if you refresh the page, it should be there.
Okay. Oh, here we are.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Okay. You got kind of a broken up type composition thing going on here, which is okay. But let's see if we can organize it more. Starting with using a grid. View, grid, guides, unlock guides. So you've got a half an inch, a quarter of an inch. So that ought to go over a quarter of an inch. And that means I'm going from that means that is a quarter of an inch. And you have this, and everything is kind of flying around. I'm determining a theme here by looking at it. So this has got to go a quarter of an inch. I'm going to move this so I can see what I'm doing. Quarter of an inch. It's right there. No, half an inch. Right there. That's a half an inch. Let's see what it is over here. A half an inch. That means that would go to there. And you have blocks going on. So it'd be interesting, because these are like blocks. So it'd be interesting if you made them blocks, which is to say, justify it. because you're doing, there's a block, a block, a block, a block. So let's see what that looks like justified. And the justification has to be window paragraph, because I'm not seeing it up there. Type paragraph. It's out. It's over here, off the page. That's what I'm looking for. That last line, a line left. Now it's starting to look like blocks. And are these blocks the same size?
I don't believe so. I don't think they're all uniform.
They're not uniform.
No.
Width. Let's see. Transform. Width 4943. So let's pick a size. They don't have to all be the same size, but it's always nice to start out with some sort of logic. And then at the end, if you want to change it, you go do so. What did I say? 4 or 5. But you give yourself a bunch of rules to go by, and then let your eyeball, your aesthetic sense, break those rules if it looks better. That is a really nice way to start out any kind of design project. You got to set yourself up with some rules. Now, so we're making those rules up as we go, and that's how you do it. This is now, do these, we gotta get rid of that widow here, but what we do first is always go from the big idea to the little idea. And the widow thing in italics, stuff like that, are little ideas. So this, just to see what I'm doing, oops, that doesn't work as well as that.
Yeah.
And that was just using my arrow keys and the shift key to go 10 pixels at a time. So I'm making this a little more aggressive. So type or dynamic. I'm making this more dynamic, and this, I don't know why that is so. What are we doing here? Got a space or something.
Yeah, that must have happened after I linked them together.
Of course, you got to think about this. This is 1 year. That's I'm looking at my text here. That's a paragraph. So this art critic has to go up in the next box. You got to consider all these things because that's your job. So that's art critics got to go up. In 1 year is got to go down. There, now that works. But we might want to see if we can pull those boxes apart a little bit. I'm tightening this up. That allows me to pull this up. And that's 2 words, so that's not a widow. And using my grid, simple grid, Now, I wonder if I can make, these are all the same width. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm just checking. Oh, this is interesting. You put a grid on here.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Oh yeah, no, it was my first layer. But it doesn't really, I feel like it doesn't really match anymore. I was trying to go for
Yeah, how did you make that?
how did I make this grid? I just used the grid tool on the toolbar on the left, and then trimmed it down. Because you can make it specifically a certain size, and then adjust how many
All right, sure. Step me
cells
through.
you want.
Where is it?
I'd have to let me open my version of Illustrator. Don't
Mesh
remember.
tool.
No, it's in one of these. I made the grid when I made my first design that is very bland compared to this one at least. So don't exactly remember.
Did you use a rectangle and split into grid? This, can you see the screen?
No, I didn't, but that's probably a more efficient way to do it.
Yeah, that's probably split into grid. Let me rectangle. Let me see. See if you can find it since we asked the question.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'll let you know.
Path split into grid. Rows 3, columns 3. Okay, there it is. I found it. Everybody got that? Nick?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious. So I'm gonna go with your composition here and see what am I? I don't want that. We want to do something that is works with your composition. So I'm going to take that and align it there. And all of these should be the same. So if I was to go and that would be meaning all the text boxes are the same width and not necessarily the same height. But I could go and do this and go, there's the center. There's the center. See, I'm organizing this because your eye will really respond to this if it is aligned with some logic to it. There's the center. And then that whole thing has to come over. And it's got to need to be, it needs to be aligned, I think, unless I make them all not aligned. Uh-oh. There's the center. And then, when I'm doing page layout, I kind of make my grid just the way I'm doing it here. I make it as I go. And I end up with a grid, and then say I made myself a logic. Now that's not quite right. That has to go right there. Because that's what my grid is telling me, which means I got a problem right here. Got a problem right there. What do? Nick, now what do? I made a bunch of rules here and it doesn't work. What do? Nobody's saying anything. Nick, you're not saying anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
But that's actually working really well, except for there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think maybe shifting the whole like second, I want to say second column, but the two paragraphs on the right side, just shifting them over a little bit.
well, I got to shift them all the way to there.
Well, let's just see what that looks like to start.
Yeah.
First thing that happens is we just,
Okay, so something's
undo it.
happening right here. It's not right.
I think it's the same thing that happened earlier with the space.
That's got to go there. Now this is, see, the problem with this is it changes the grid, because that's really supposed to go there, and this is supposed to go
Over there, yeah.
yeah, it's right there. But that doesn't work either because it's off the page. So we got a problem here. Oh.
Well, since it is supposed to be an asymmetrical composition, what if we align them both? I might overlap still. You could change the size of the boxes too.
Change the size of the boxes.
Yeah. But the only
well,
thing that
when I was presenting this, I said you make yourself a set of rules, and then if the rules don't work, you change the rules, but you got a set of rules. So then we look at this and say, does that work? The grid is broken a little bit.
Not too much.
Let's just go with this for now. This needs to be, it needs to come down so you can read it. But this and that right there that's got a text wrap on it.
Yeah. So we can kind of slant the fourth paragraph.
Well, you're doing something like that, which is not bad. What is this? Why is this indented?
I am not sure. I think I was just trying to format it a little bit.
Well, you gotta, if you look at that, what is that? 45 points. Oh, wait a minute.
You might have grabbed yeah, because it's on an arc, but the actual box doesn't transfer with it.
I was gonna thinking of moving this. So it's not, so it's more active like everything else.
Sure. You kind of come, I can make you make the arc on the right side steeper. I don't remember exactly how to do that. It can kind of like dip into the center. Do you see what I'm saying?
Do this like that. Dip in.
I mean, as for like a concept, yes, but I think I would need to make the actual curve steeper. On the title.
Yeah, where do we do that? Remember? Where do we do that?
Going off the top of my head. Unfortunately. So I tried a couple of different things before I got it. I think it was just it was one of the effects, if I remember correctly.
I don't think it was up here, was it? Distort. Maybe it was. No.
No. Oh, it was warp under effect.
Effect. Warp. Or, there it is.
And I think I just had a regular arc, and then this is going to add an arc on top of the arc, if I remember correctly. If you apply it,
Oh. Warp, arc. You tell me what to do.
just
Apply.
hit apply it. Let's see what happens.
Woo.
Ooh, now it's really big. So we could dial the bend back a bit. See what that does.
Preview. Oh, gotta
Oh.
hit the preview.
There we go. Yeah. So something along that line.
Okay, so if I go
Doesn't have
okay,
to be
I move this.
And then, yeah, so like introduction, almost like it's starting like a normal headline, and then the only problem is it then goes too far.
Yeah.
So we could shrink it because it is 45. It's way, I mean, not way too big, but we have some wiggle room there. If you, oop. If you
I'm
do
taking
Command
out
A,
if I can.
should just grab everything. If you Command A, right?
You see, if the type is in this box and it's warped out of the box, and so it's kind of weird going here. Okay, so then you could do just go up and go. And not warp that.
I like that.
Well, it's not quite right, but
The idea of it.
the idea of it, yeah, it needs to be finessed. Is this fun for you?
Just like doing
What
this
we're
kind of
doing.
stuff in general.
Yeah, what we're doing.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I feel like I'd have more fun if I had a better understanding of Illustrator, because then I could do stuff a little bit easier. Because it took me a while to figure out just how to do the warp, because I tried a whole bunch of different things.
Well, yeah, but that's the fun of it.
That's true. Just the problem solving aspect.
Yeah. I use Illustrator quite often, but I don't get into all of this weird stuff. I do it really kind of, the heart of Illustrator is what this class is, which is the pen tool. That's the heart of Illustrator. Everything else is on top of it. And you in the practice of, unless you're an illustrator, you're doing character stuff or something like that, you don't use those effects. And in fact, these effects are not advised to use because they don't translate well between programs. Just the most simplest stuff, which is the path tool, the text tool, translates really well. And you'll notice that once you go through trying to say, this doesn't come across from Illustrator because it's some special effect like this stuff. All that stuff is you're using it at your own chance, because some of it does not come over. I don't know. I don't have that, or I can't find that font, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And she could be bolder too somehow. And the reason I said this to everybody is because you, as an illustrator, you take illustrator or designer, you take every chance to design something. You take it, and I can't make that. There's a font. There's no bold. It's just a font. But I could go. Here's a way to faux bold is highlight the type and put a stroke on it, and it's bold. And then I think I'd want to go and stretch it out a little bit. That kind of ruins the type a little bit, but there it does it. So I'm just taking the opportunity to then maybe that's bold, because that's bold, and then your eye comes down here to something that's bold as well, and that's got to align with your grid, which is we changed the grid, but we had a good demonstration, and it's a good demonstration of how to set up something, and then then you're forced to change the rules, and it still works. And now I'm going to go and make sure I'm going to go up to this top layer, lock these, and make sure this is consistent. This is just a little measuring device that I can easily, so I don't have to look at the rulers. Make sure that's consistent. This has to come down a little bit. Okay. Now all the space between the paragraphs are consistent. That was that. All that was used for. Hey, what do you think, Nick?
I like it.
Clean, negative space, dynamic. Yay! Good job.
Thank you.
What do we do with this? Do I save it or?
I would save it. I really do like this version better.
Yeah, but
maybe we'll go in and play with it a little bit more too. Get the
You
art
will.
right. Hold the
Yeah,
introduction.
I don't want to. I don't. I hesitate to do.
You don't have to.
No, I'll save it. You want to save it? I'll save it. But I took all the fun out of your.
Nah, there's still some stuff I can go in and touch up.
Good.
I got to do the italics.
Do the italics. And I see you got your footnotes. Check the italics, and I'll save it. Okay, folks. Saved. Any other questions out there? To the 6 of us, everything all right?
Nothing more from me.
All right. So read this email I sent you with regards to the last project, and then ask me questions next week. Okay, folks. So guys, see you next week. Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.